The sticky stuff situation, Dallas. What the hell happened last night?
Not sure. Not sure. And this is what was interesting is during the game, Eric Bacchus was the base umpire. And, you know, they're checking guys as they come into the game. They're checking guys as they leave the game. And I could read his lips and said, I checked him in the first, nothing. And so that would indicate that they were checking him consistently, which we saw. But then eventually they came to the conclusion that, hold on, no, what we're feeling this time is just not right. It's a little different maybe. Okay, so they took a deeper look and they started looking at his glove and started looking at his hands. You know, you can't hear what they're saying, but you can kind of surmise what's going on. And they're feeling his hand, you know. And then they started to feel on the inside part of the glove. So where you stick your glove in, where your palm rests in that part of the glove, they started with their thumb, you know, and like with their fingers started pointing to that area, started pressing down on that area. And that's when I, on the broadcast, was reminding the folks at home who were watching, who might not have been in the building, who might not be in Houston, Texas, where my windows, as we sit right now, are quite literally dripping moisture because of the humidity outside. And, you know, they'll keep the roof open for a while and then close it before the game. But it was very humid. JP Sears, I think by the third inning, had already sweated through a jersey and was changing his uniform. So I said, in my humble opinion, that this could very well just be a matter of gunk or sticky stuff that has accumulated over a period of time. If he's in the dugout applying rosin before he goes out there just to kind of like dry himself off or like load up the rosin before he goes out there. And if it's humid like it was, then that's something that's a possibility. Because remember, if you keep your arms down and sweat drips, where does the sweat drip? It drips down, it drips into your palm, and your glove gets fucking wet. It gets moist in there. It just does. That's what happens. And so I'm not telling you that it wasn't a sticky substance, because I thought I saw somewhere that that Eric Bacchus said that it's some of the stickier stuff that they've touched, or some of the stickier stuff that he's seen, which would tell you that Eric Bacchus, big league umpire, has seen plenty of pine tar situations, have seen plenty of rosin situations. So for him to make that assessment, well, that captures your attention, as it should. But that's why they immediately took his glove and immediately ran it over to the side, give that to whoever needs to take it, and that'll go be analyzed, and they'll determine if it was what, right? They're essentially going to do a DNA test on the substances. And if there is anything other than rosin and what comprises rosin, there's going to be an issue. And that's what we'll find out. So in the moment, there's also something that we all identified a long time ago, not a long time ago, but as a real life tool to be able to assess this, right? You can look at the numbers and the profile of the pitch, and you can look at how the pitch is playing in the moment. And statistically, there was no data that was jumping off the page at you that was telling you that his spin is so egregiously up right now, we need to look at this. That wasn't the case. And trust me, I was looking at that so that I could figure out, okay, well, hold on. Is there a point in here? And in real time, you know, I do have to broadcast the game, so I'm talking, but in things that I found, nothing egregious.
Also, the precedent has been set that even if they come back and determine that it was just rosin, he's still going to catch a suspension for overly sticky rosin.
Well, yes, but this is where I said this on the broadcast. We've had situations where guys have been allowed to change a glove. We've had situations where guys have been asked to wash their hands off.
It's very subjective. Yeah.
Like, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like what's the play here? Like, and this is where people are like, yo, don't defend that shitbag organization. Don't defend it. I get it. I get it, but I got a job to do on TV, right? And my job is to try to make what's happening as understandable as possible. And sometimes the best way to do that is to ask questions, which is what I was doing, and asking, well, why is he not being given the opportunity to go change his glove? Or why is he not being given the opportunity to go wash his hands and take care of this issue? And maybe, Jared, maybe that's at the determination of the umpiring crew, who has felt the hands of individuals and has been like, okay, you know what? Yeah, that checks out. This doesn't feel like anything crazy. Go wash your hands and see if it comes off. I don't know. But all I know is that's a hell of a precedent to set, where we have 3 individuals who have all fallen under scrutiny for the same thing and have 3 very different results. Do they not?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I think it's a fair question for me to ask. What are we doing? What's going on? So ultimately, in the moment, and I love people. Oh, did you feel it? Do you know what it feels like? Do you? I'm the dude who told you how to cheat on ESPN, if you remember.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I got a feel. I got a pretty good feel.
Yeah.